What's goody YTBC? What's good fight fans, boxing heads around the world? B Marsh with another boxing video. So in light of all this stuff I've been hearing about the senator of the Philippines, the man Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people been concerned about his, he recently came out and said, that he used to use and he used to abuse illicit and illegal drugs back when he was a teenager. The man Pacquiao's damn near 40 years old and, he admitted that, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? But anyways, what got me thinking about Pacquiao and also, Takashi Miura versus Orlando Salido just got made. You check it. So it got me thinking about, is Manny Pacquiao the greatest Asian boxer ever? You know what I'm saying? And that's what we about to get into, man. We want to get into and ask. The question I ask and I post to the YTBC and everybody else who's listening is Manny Pacquiao the greatest Asian boxer ever? Well, let's get into it, man. I'm gonna first start with the guy a guy that I do know, that I did watch, a guy by the name of Pongsack Wanjokam. You know what I mean? That's a guy out of where was he from? I think he was from the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? Or was he from Thailand? I think he was a Thai fighter, you know what I mean? And, this guy was a guy who campaigned at flyweight, you know what I'm saying? And he set the flyweight division record for 16 consecutive defenses, you know what I'm saying? He kept them WBC titles, you know what I mean? He's a two-time Ring Magazine lineal champ, you know what I'm saying? And that's him on the screen right there, you know what I mean? And, he's a flyweight champion, two-time flyweight champ, you know what I'm saying? And the two-time Ring Magazine champion, you know what I'm saying? The guy fought numerous people, you know what I mean? A lot of people, even if I mention their names, a lot of people ain't too familiar with these, with the flyweights and the lower weights, you know what I mean? Well, one guy I think, I do remember vividly a fight that he won was for the WBC flyweight title. And that was against the Mexican by the name of Julio Cesar Mirandas, you know what I mean? Or Miranda, you know what I mean? And he won that by, I think he won by UD. That was like around 2010 or '09 or something, you know what I mean? And he's one of the better fighters we've had recently to come out of Asia. You check it. This man had, at a point in time, he had won 55 consecutive bouts, you know what I mean? And that particular time, that was the longest win streak in boxing, you know what I mean? 55 consecutive wins. You check it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who else we got on the itinerary. You know what I mean? I gotta breeze through these vids right quick, man, because I ain't got too much time, man. Time is of the essence, man. Let me see who we have here next. Let's talk about this guy that they call Flash Elodie. Flash Elodie was a guy out of he's a guy out of the Philippines. He's one of the great fighters out of the Philippines. This guy gained notoriety. I believe he fought around the 50s, the 60s. He fought from the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. You know what I mean? Up until the early 70s. You check it, and he's a junior lightweight champion, you know what I mean? 130. He was, I believe, the WBC. And he's actually considered to be the greatest 130-pound champion ever, you know what I'm saying? You check it, this guy, he's a guy. He fought guys like Carlos Ortiz, he's a Hall of Famer. Although it was at lightweight, you know what I mean? He lost them 2 fights, but, he challenged himself, you know what I mean? He defended his championship at least 10 times, you know what I mean? Until, he lost to a guy from Japan by the name of Yoshiaka Nomuta, you know what I mean? And, he beat him by majority decision. You check it? His reign at 130 pounds, junior lightweight, was the longest ever, you know what I'm saying? 7 years and 3 months for Flash Elodie. And this is the guy of the Philippines. You check it. This was a great fighter, man. A great fighter during his time, He fought guys like Sandy Sadler, Sandy Sadler gave him a beating, you know what I'm saying? You check it. Sandy Sadler was a rough house tactician, you know what I'm saying? And Elodie was winning that fight, but the man, Sandy Sadler wasn't having that, and he proceeded to pounce on him, you know what I mean? So that's another great champion out of Asia. You check it? You know, with numerous title defenses, you know what I'm saying? You check it? Let's see who else we have on the artillery. What y'all know about Chronixx, man? What y'all know about Chronixx? Alright, who's the other guy we have? Let's talk about this guy right here, man. This guy out of Japan. You check it. This guy is one of the best afros you'll ever see. You know, a lot of people don't know that the Japanese people, you know, some of them can have ancestry that comes from Africa. You know what I mean? There's black Japanese. You check it. And I believe this guy is one of those type of people. You know what I mean? Look at this guy's afro, man. You check it. This guy afro was perfect, you know. Yoko Gushiken, man. Yoko Gushiken was a good fighter in his time, you know. He was a guy who ain't fight too long, you know. He ain't have too many fights. I forgot who he lost to. He lost to some Mexican at the end of his career. And, you know, he called it quits. You know, Yoko Gushiken, his record was 23 wins and 1 victory. 23 victories and 1 loss. And them fellas had like 15 KOs, you know what I mean? WBA 100 and light flyweight, 108-pound champion, you know what I'm saying? You check it, this guy, you know, he had only 24 fights in his career, but he's in the Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying? He's in the Hall of Fame because this man made numerous title defenses of that WBA title, you know what I mean? Then at the time when he retired, he had made 13 consecutive title defenses, you know, and 13 out of them, 8 out of them 13 victories were by knockout, you know what I'm saying? You know, he defended against guys like, I think the guy who beat him at the end of his career was Pedro Flores. He beat Pedro Flores, and then in the rematch, Pedro Flores beat him, and then he retired, you know what I mean? You check it, he fought guys like, you know, Alfonso Lopez, Rafael Pedroza, you know what I mean? You check it, a lot of these guys, and he was active around in the 70s, mid-70s to the early 80s, you know what I mean? And this guy was a Japanese, I believe he was from like them sides of Okinawa or something. You see Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, that's where he from, you know what I mean? You know, and I'm glad the man made it to the Hall of Fame, man, because his fighting style was like that, man. You know, he was an aggressive fighter, come forward fighter, and he was knocking fellas out, man. You check it. So big ups to him, man. You know, that's one of the great fighters that ever come out of Asia, you know what I mean? You know, and like I said, I posed the question, is Manny Pacquiao the greatest fighter of all time to come out of Asia, you know what I mean? Who else we got over here? I said Flash Elodie. Let's look at this guy right here. Kil Moon. You know what I'm saying? Kil Moon was a guy from South Korea. You know, former WBA bantamweight and WBC super flyweight champ. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy who excuse me. He was also a guy who ain't fight too long, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have numerous fights. Excuse me, ladies and gents. Let me get this. You know, he's a guy, he ain't got too many fights under his belt, you know what I'm saying? But one victory he's known for, he beat up Kosai Galaxy's brother. That's Kokar Galaxy, you know what I'm saying? You know, the first pair of twins to ever win world titles. You know what I'm saying? And he beat guys like Hilario Zapata, you know what I mean, Gilberto Roman. You know, this guy, Kil Moon, was a good fighter. He was active around in the what was it, in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? He was definitely active in the 90s, early 90s. But he ain't fight for too long, you know what I'm saying? So that's another great champion we have there from Asia. You check it. Let me see who else we have on the itinerary. Let me see. tight. All right. Here's another guy. Another guy we might be familiar with, you know, because most of the guys that I have mentioned thus far, these are guys I've never seen fight before other than, you know, highlights on YouTube or they fights on YouTube. You check it. This guy we going to talk about right here is from Indonesia, you know, Chris the Dragon John, you know what I'm saying? He was a WBA featherweight champ and WBA super featherweight. You know, he only suffered I think them fellas only had one loss in his career, if I'm mistaken, you know what I mean? I'm going off the cuff, so forgive me if I have it correct. But I only remember him losing the what was it, the Simpiwa Vitieka? Simpiwa Vitieka, the guy from South Africa, retired him, you know what I mean? And he snatched that WBA belt from him at 126. You know, this guy, you know, he made 18 consecutive title defenses of his featherweight strap. You know, and that's only second to the one and only legend out of from Panama, Eusebio Pedrosa, you know what I mean? One of the greatest featherweights ever, you know. But, you know, the man, Chris John, is a guy who also beat, what's his name? What's his name? Juan Manuel Marquez. Although controversial, you know, kind of disputed victory, you know. But, you know, he was a guy who came to the United States very few times. I think he beat Rocky Juarez in the United States. He came over to Houston, beat him out there in Texas, you know. But this guy, Chris John, one thing about him, you know, he's a great fighter. But, you know, I criticize the guy for not fighting in the States like that, you know. He was comfortable in his comfort zone out there in Indonesia, and he never left his comfort zone, you know. He didn't want to fight outside of Indonesia, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of marquee fighters in the lighter weights them times at 126. You check it. That's why Marquez had to go out there and fight him, you know what I mean? You check it. All right. Man, looks like I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this video, man, because there's numerous fighters I want to talk about it. I do want to split it up. You know, I want to split it up in parts, so, you know, I can get a chance to really break down and really speak about these great fighters from the continent of Asia, you know what I mean? Let me see who else we have. All right, let's look at this guy here one time. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna definitely talk about the best fighters to come out of Asia after in my part 2 of this video, you know what I mean? Because the question I'm asking is Manny Pacquiao the greatest fighter to ever come out of Asia, you know what I'm saying? And that's a question, you know, I'd like to pose to the YTBC, man, because, you know, I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion just because Pacquiao is a modern fighter that, you know, he is the best fighter we've ever seen at, you know, come out of Asia, you know what I'm saying? So this particular guy I'm about to talk about right here, you already know, the Filipino Flash, man. This guy, Filipino Flash, what is he, a 4-division champion? Could have been a 5-division champion, but I think he had an interim title somewhere in between there. I want to say it's super flyweight, you know what I mean? But no Nito Donaire, you know, he's one of the modern guys we all know. We've seen him numerous times on HBO, you know. His claim to fame was knocking out Vic Darchanyan, you know, coming to save his brother Glenn Donaire's ass because Vic Darchanyan spanked Glenn Donaire. So little bro had to come and save the day, you know. You know what I'm saying? Had fights with Omar Narvaez, you know what I'm saying? Fights with Jeffrey Matabule. You know, he had fights with, who else he fought, man? He fought numerous people, you know, to become a 4-time world champion, you know. You know, he was a guy who started from the lower weights, I believe from 115. You check it, you know, 115, 118, 122. And at that featherweight, you know what I'm saying? So I believe he started even from 112 from flyweight, you know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, his claim to fame was knocking out my guy at the time, Vic Darchanyan. And you know, he's definitely one of the better fighters we've had in recent memory to come out of the out of Asia. You know, how he was going through the divisions, and you know, let me know in the comment section. I'm about to go into part 2 right quick. All right, here I come.